On this episode of the Best of Bias Podcast, you got me talking NFL Week 7 review. Of course, we're going to check my predictions, see if we got that right. Then we check out Week 8, give some predictions for that, keep myself, on track and see if I can keep predicting these scores right. Then we're going to talk about fantasy football. Of course, the Best of Bias Invitational Fantasy Football League. It's week, 8 now coming up. I'm going to talk about all the Week 7 scores and the standings now. Guys that took an L this week. I know. It's sad to hear, but I'll talk about that in a minute. And then we got a little bit of pop culture, not much. Some more Kanye West fallout. We got some DCEU actually got their Kevin Feige, their person that's going to take care of all the DC movies, TV shows, and the animation. They found their people, I should say. It's more than one person. So I'll get to all that as well. And Brittany Griner, her appeal to get out of that 9-year sentence was denied. So we'll talk about all that. Beautiful episode, long episode. Not really long. We'll keep it a little brief for y'all. It's Friday. We won't get y'all out there and enjoy the Friday, but happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Best of Bias Podcast. Enjoy. Yeah. It's the best of bias. You need the earful. You should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. It's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias Podcast with Lydell Dinero and Hugo Twilight.
What's going on? It's Friday. It's Friday again, everybody. Right now, I might be in a chipper mood, but after the next couple of days, I'm recording this on Wednesday. A couple of my teams are playing right now. The Nuggets are playing the Lakers right now, and the Bucks play the Ravens tomorrow. So this comes out on Friday. So I'm in a good mood now, but after these next couple of days, I could be in a terrible mood. So you might need to check up on me. But hey, we got a bunch of beautiful. I don't know. I keep calling shit beautiful in this episode. It's a beautiful day, so I'm gonna call everything beautiful. We got some great topics out here to talk about today. NFL, we right there in the middle, pretty much of the NFL season. So we're gonna review some of the scores from Week 6 and stuff like that. Talk about my goddamn Buccaneers sucking shit up. Paul's just being terrible the last couple of weeks. I'm fucking reminiscent of 2009, 2010, and shit like that. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some NFL fantasy. You heard the intro. You already know what I'm gonna talk about. Let's just jump right into it, huh? Thursday night football, Week 7. We had the Saints playing the Cardinals. This game was a lot better than the previous two Thursday night games. They were slumpers. They were little slumber houses. I don't know, whatever. Boring, basically. They didn't hold nobody's attention. Amazon got the short end of the stick, trying to get a little bit of NFL games on their show, on their channel, and the NFL gave them the shit games for the last couple of weeks. So seeing actually a good game this week, it was refreshing. We saw the Saints play the Cardinals. It's always a good day when the Saints lose. They lost 34-42. Goddamn, there's no defense being played in that game at all, I guess. The Saints dropped to 2-5. Cardinals are 3-4. Some of the stats, I'm not gonna go too much in depth because there are a lot of buys this week actually, so there's not as many games. I know I'll be putting hella stats on y'all, and y'all probably don't care about a lot of these teams, so I'm gonna probably move through a lot of these teams a little bit faster. Again, if I speed through your team, I'm sorry. If your team played bad, there's not much to talk about. You know what I mean? Because mine, I'm a harp on the Buccaneers because them boys let me down all the way. Like, bruh, Tom Brady. I'll get into it later. I don't want to take away from all these other teams and talk about my team off the bat because I can talk for an hour. And I'm trying to get y'all out of here. And I'm trying to watch the Nuggets game myself. But yeah, them boys is. Anyways, Andy Dalton starting for Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston still dealing with that hurt back. So Andy Dalton is taking over the reins and starting for them. He played good last game. I think they still lost. But people kind of thought that Jameis Winston was going to probably take a back seat to Andy Dalton, and everything was just going to kind of go Andy Dalton's way. Jameis Winston has been turning the ball over and kind of showing himself to be kind of who we thought he was. And, we're going to let him heal up. But the Saints, that's what they're thinking. They're going to let him heal up. That way, if Andy Dalton does good, they have an excuse to bench Jameis. And if Andy Dalton does bad, they can just say Jameis isn't healthy and we're waiting for him to get healthy. So I guess they're just kind of it's a kind of a double-edged sword there, but I guess they're doing the right thing by letting Andy Dalton start for now. But this game, he went 30 for 47, 361 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. So I don't think that's any better than Jameis Winston. If it is, he's doing his best Jameis Winston impression because that's terrible. Alvin Kamara had 11 carries for 49 yards. Only person that really got off for the team, which means does well for my non-California people. Was Chris Olave, who is becoming the stalwart of the team and actually doing shit. Mike Thomas hasn't seen the field in I don't know how many weeks. Jarvis Landry's been hurt too. So Chris Olave is actually the only person really showing up and doing something for the Saints. He went 7 for 106. Kevin White, that got drafted first round by the Bears a long time ago, actually had a catch for 64 yards. It was a good catch too, across the middle like the slant, hit the sideline and dipped out. He did run a 4.3, I think, in the draft when he came out. So he does have that speed. We just didn't really see the action and the production from Kevin White. So he's bounced around the league a little bit and got a little burn on the Saints. He had a little good play, but it wasn't enough. Kyler Murray was able to right the ship and take his team to 3-4. He was 20 for 29, 204 yards, touchdowns, 7 carries for 30 yards. Eno Benjamin is actually taking advantage of the opportunity with James Conner being out with a rib injury. He went 12 for 92 with a touchdown. D-Hop in his game back from that 6-game suspension for the PEDs. He went 10 for 103, had 14 targets. So he's going to be utilized in a big way. Kyler Murray has been missing his weapons over there. So getting that back, getting D-Hop back is a big advantage for them. I know all the Cardinals fans out there are happy about that. But the Cardinals were able to win 42-34 and go move the record up to 3-4. Next games, we got Browns versus the Ravens. The Ravens were actually able to beat the Browns. I forgot exactly what the score was. I should have this. I don't know why I didn't put it down here. But the Ravens did beat the Browns. Jacoby Brissett went 22 for 27, 258 yards. Nick Chubb did the Nick Chubb thing, 16 for 91 and a touchdown. The receiver is Jacoby Brissett was actually able to spread the ball around a little bit. Amari Cooper went 3 for 74. Njoku 7 for 71 and actually got injured. I think he hurt his ankle. It's going to be out a little bit. And Donovan Peoples-Jones was 6 for 71. So Jacoby Brissett was getting it to other, spreading it out a little bit, and the receivers are actually able to do a little bit of something with it. Lamar Jackson, who's actually slumping a little bit, which I hope he slumps on Thursday or tomorrow because, oh my God. Or if you're listening to this yesterday, I'm going to confuse y'all this episode with all that time travel shit, but I'm going to keep it to a minimum. But yeah, Lamar Jackson slumping a little bit. People are kind of saying now he was balling out the first couple of games, but now he's kind of slowing down. And people are kind of saying that, okay, maybe now he made the wrong decision on banking on himself and not actually signing the contract when he had it on the table. But I still feel like he's doing the right thing by banking on himself, and he does deserve that big contract that he's holding out for. But I don't think he should earn it this Thursday. But yeah, he went 9 for 16, 120 yards, 10 carries for 59 yards. So it wasn't really the Lamar Jackson numbers we're used to, but he was able to get that victory for his team. Bateman and Duvernay, they both had 42 yards receiving, so it wasn't much of a passing game. It was more of a rushing game. Gus Edwards had like 2 touchdowns, so more of a defensive game on the Ravens side, and they did their thing and ran the ball most of the game. And pretty much that's what we've seen mostly of the Ravens over the years since they've had Lamar Jackson. So not surprised there. They were able to get that victory over the Browns and go 4-3. The Browns fall to 2-5. Now let me talk about my goddamn Buccaneers. Dual cameras. This is the part where I do dual cameras. Tampa Bay, goddamn Buccaneers. This is the second week in a row we played probably the worst team on each conference. Where do I start? Our offense has been trash. I'm going to start with the offense. I mean, we're not blocking for anybody. We came into the season thinking Robert Hainsey and our left rookie guard, Luke Gadecki, will be able to hold up after Ali Marpet retired and Ryan Jensen got hurt. That hasn't been true. Tom Brady has no time in the pocket. We already know he's kind of statuesque in the pocket because he can't move. He's old. He's 45, so he's old as fuck, so he can't really do shit as far as being mobile. So he has no time. He has no time to get the ball to the receivers. Even people are trying to say Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, Russell Gage can't get no separation. That's bullshit. They got all the separation in the world. We just can't get the ball to them accurately because we have no time in the pocket. Donovan Smith came back. And we thought that he was going to be able to play with that hurt elbow. It's not really looking like it is. I mean, like all the left ends or outside linebackers that even come up against him, he just gets pushed out of the way. I mean, he's a soldier for trying to play with a hurt elbow, hyperextended elbow in the first place. But bro, if you can't play, we got to figure out something to do, because the trade deadline's coming up. We need to make a trade if we ain't got what we need, because this is Tom Brady's last year, and we're in a playoff window, Super Bowl window right now. We can't let shit fall apart, man. Defense, there's no way we should allow Devontae Foreman to run for 15 carries for 118 yards. That shit was stupid. And Chuba Hubbard, 9 for 63 yards. We're supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league. Last 2 years, they preached that nobody can rush on us and all that shit. So how is this happening now, to the fact that it's just kind of wild to me. It's just kind of wild to see the downfall. We were so good week one, and for everything just to fall apart. I know Tom Brady's going through stuff in his social life, and everybody's trying to harp on that. Antonio Brown's antagonizing this man. I don't know what's wrong with him. Putting all these pictures up of him and Giselle, kind of insinuating that he slept with her, or he had a secret relationship with her, or some crazy shit. It's just a whole bunch of distractions, which in the past, I kind of laughed at New England for having to deal with this shit. But now for the Buccaneers having to deal with it, I'm like, why? Why is this happening now? You know what I'm saying? Just give us one more year of regularness, just regular football. We don't need all the side drama. We don't need all the injuries happen. It's kind of selfish for me to say. I wish we didn't have any injuries, because that's what everybody wishes. But it's just crazy, man. It's just so much scrutiny coming from every little thing. Mike Evans dropping this pass. He was wide open in the game, dropped a wide open pass, would have been touchdown for sure. Bobbled it the most comical way possible. And we know Mike got hands, so he would never do that again. Tom Brady went 32 for 49, still had 290 yards. It's just when we get in the red zone, we can't score. We can't score. I don't know if it's it is the play calling. Byron Leftwich took over the play calling once Bruce Arians got kicked upstairs. And ever since that happened, our play calling got super vanilla. We run on first down, very predictable. We can't get any push because we got those new linemen and like interior linemen that can't get any push on anybody. We're letting 1-5 and 1-4, 1-5 and 2-5 teams beat us. It's like it's getting to a point where something has to change. I don't know if it's head coach. I don't know if it's offensive coordinator. I'm not trying to abandon ship or just think the house is burning now already. It's only week 7. We got 10 weeks to go, and we still lead the division. But it's just wild to see. It's a lot of time. You know how many minutes is in a football game? You sit there and watch your team play so bad. It's just unrecognizable. Let me get off my soapbox. Sorry, guys. But anyways, let me get back to the stats. The rushing game was non-existent. I don't even want to talk about it. Leonard Fournette had like 19 yards. Rachaad White had 14 yards total. What else happened? Shoot, Phillip Walker, XFL quarterback, comes in and does work, goes 16 for 22, 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. The last touchdown he threw, Tommy Tremble, was wide open for a 39-yard touchdown. It made no sense. And now all our DBs are hurt again, just like last year. It doesn't make any sense. Why does this happen? Why does it have to happen at this time of the year? We could be riding off the easy part of our schedule. We could have won all those games and been cool. These last 2 games, we should have won. All this bull shizzle. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it down, you know what I'm saying? Because it could be kids listening that snuck into here, even though they saw the explicit mark on that thing. It's okay. I forgive you, kids, but hey, man, there's some passion in this. We can't be losing. We keep losing, man. I don't know what we're gonna do. We got Ravens, we got the Rams. I don't know. But man, I'm gonna keep my chest up. I'm gonna keep my head up. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we get these wins. Everybody's counting us out now. Power rankings, we all the way down. The sky is falling, but hopefully Tom Brady does have the resilience. He comes out and says every press conference, every podcast he has, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Tom, let me get on a podcast though. Holla at me. Best of Bias, TB12 collab. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. Best of Bias listeners, hey, hit him up. Let him know that his boy is trying to get on a podcast with him. Spit a little game and let him know I believe in him. Tell him I believe in him. You know what I'm saying? Tell his son to join my fantasy league or something. We could be friends. Just play better. No, I'm just playing. Let me get off that soapbox. But yeah, we did end up losing. Yeah, that's all I really got to say. Mike Evans got nine. He got 9 catches, 96 yards. Again, I talked about the drop. Cade Otton actually showing up. Cameron Brate's hurt with that concussion. He got a concussion and a bad neck injury. So it might be time for Cameron Brate to retire. So it may be time for Cade Otton, our tight end, rookie tight end out of Washington, to actually just show up and do his thing now. He went 6 for 64, had a 34-yard catch from Tom Brady when we were kind of trying to drive and put up some points, but we ended up only kicking a field goal, which was fucking stupid. Excuse my language. Why do you kick a field goal down 14-0 in like the fourth quarter, bro? Like, at least show some gall. At least Bruce Arians would have went for it. Anyways, let's move on. The Panthers moved to 2-5. The Buccaneers fall to 3-4. We still lead the division, but we're tied with the Falcons again. The Falcons play the Panthers. So if we lose to the Ravens this week and either the Falcons or the Panthers win, they have a chance to take over the division if we lose. So that shit is embarrassing as hell. So moving on, the Falcons played the Bengals. The Bengals won 35-17. They were able to move their record up to 4-3. Marcus Mariota went 8 for 13, 124 yards, 1 touchdown. He had 6 carries for 31 yards. Tyler Algier actually had his first touchdown. Surprisingly, they run so fucking much. How do they not have any touchdowns for the running backs? Cordell Patterson's actually supposed to come back in a couple of weeks, so I'm sure their game plan is not going to change anytime soon. Arthur Smith just wants to run the ball to death. Damari Bird did score a touchdown pass, surprisingly. Mariota did get to throw a touchdown pass, so that's cool. But Joe Burrow just destroyed these people. 34 for 42, 481 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown. So he's responsible for 4 total touchdowns, which is nuts. If you had him in fantasy, you probably had a day. Joe Mixon, 17 for 58 for 1 touchdown. All 3 receivers 8. Higgins, 5 for 93 and a touchdown. Jamar Chase, 8 for 130, 2 touchdowns. And Tyler Boyd, 8 for 155 and a touchdown. All of them got money. Man, I actually lost in fantasy this week to somebody who started Higgins and Boyd, and both got hella points. And he had all. I'm not even gonna get into that. I'll talk about that a little later. Got shit. But yeah, of course, with all those stats on the Bengals side, of course they won 35-17. Detroit played the Dallas Cowboys with the return of Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was able to shut down the Detroit Lions. Everybody's been able to shut down the Detroit Lions. They're 1-5, but the Cowboys surprisingly 5-2. The NFC East is balling right now. Giants 6-1, Eagles 6-0, Cowboys 5-2. I mean, man, who would have thought? But anyways, Jared Goff went 21 for 26, 228 yards and 2 interceptions. He's just turning the ball over willy-nilly nowadays. I don't know what's going on, man. I guess that what's that, Hard Knocks wore off, and now he's just going back to the pumpkin. No more Cinderella. I mean, he wasn't really playing like Cinderella, but he had a game where he had a whole bunch of stats. He threw like 4 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. But he is fucking shit up now. Dak Prescott, or excuse me, let me not skip Jamal. Jamal Williams in place of my guy DeAndre Swift. He went 15 for 79. Khalif Raymond, I have no idea who that is. I just wanted to make that clear when I wrote it down. I don't know who Khalif Raymond is, but he went 5 for 75. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think, got injured because he had 1 catch for 4 yards, and that was it for the game. So I'm assuming he got injured. I didn't pay too much close attention to that game, to be honest. Dak Prescott went 19 for 25, 207 yards and a touchdown. Light work. The running game came back alive. Pollard 12 for 83, Zeke 15 for 57, 2 touchdowns. And CeeDee Lamb was able to go 4 for 70. So Cowboys were able to do what they wanted to do. I think they had 5 turnovers in the game, their defense, the Cowboys. So their defense is still playing and keeping the team afloat. And I mean, people are saying they play a Super Bowl contender. So if that defense can keep playing like they are and they don't have to play from behind, I think the Cowboys do have a shot. Yeah, so Detroit's 1-5, Cowboys moving to 5-2. The Giants, we just talked about their outstanding record a couple minutes ago. Giants 6-1 now. They won against the Jaguars 23-17. Jaguars fall to 2-5. Daniel Jones goes 19 for 30, 202 yards and a touchdown, 11 carries, 107 yards and a touchdown. That boy be running. Boy, Daniel Jones ain't playing with y'all. He said, man, I mean, I might turn the ball over, but I'm going to be out. I'm going to run. If I can't throw a touchdown, I'm going to run that shit. Me and Saquon are going to do it. Saquon Barkley went 24 carries for 110 yards. Darius Slayton, 3 for 58 and a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence, 22 for 43, 310 yards, no touchdowns. James Robinson actually got traded to the Jets recently. So ETN is actually taking over as the workhorse running back. And this week he proved that he was going to be for the time going forward. 14 for 114 and a touchdown. Christian Kirk 7 for 96. Yeah, again, Giants 6-1. Jaguars fall to 2-5. Packers in Green Bay. It's the Washington Commanders, in Green Bay. The Commanders were able to win 23-21. I don't know what's going on with the Green Bay Packers, but they looking like us out there. And I know their quarterback isn't playing as bad. They blame it on their receivers, and I know what's going on with receivers because, we played them with no receivers. So I know how it is not to have any receivers, especially have ones that are new to the team and you haven't worked with really to get on the same page with. I get all that, but sheesh. Everything that was supposed to be heralded about the Packers this year is just going fray, or it's not working out. Rodgers went 23 for 35, 194 yards and 2 touchdowns. His press conferences aren't looking good. He's kind of throwing blame at the coaches, kind of saying in podcasts and press conferences that maybe some of the guys on the field shouldn't be on the field. It's just wild. He's kind of just saying stuff that he shouldn't be saying. That's to like take it lightly. The public's having a field day with it the last couple of years. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been in good light with the media, so anything he does, they're gonna take it and just run with that shit. And I feel sorry for him in a way, but man, hey, anytime the Packers are doing bad, I'm happy about it. Aaron Jones, 8 for 23, but he had 9 receptions for 53 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he made up for it that way. Alan Lazard had 6 for 55, but he apparently hurt his shoulder and is in a sling right now. So with him hurt, that just makes it even worse for the Green Bay Packers, who play the Bills next week, which is crazy. Tyler Heineke started for the Commanders while Carson Wentz is hurt, 20 for 33, 201 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Brian Robinson, 20 for 73, and Gibson actually got some carries, which I respect, 10 for 59. And McLaurin is doing his thing again 2 weeks in a row, 5 for 73 and a touchdown. But Green Bay was able to, the Commanders were able to get the win, surprisingly. They're not out of it yet. They're not, they don't have as good of a record as the Giants, Cowboys, or the Eagles, but they're not technically out of it. They have the same fucking record as us, God damn it. 3-4. The Colts versus Titans. Colts lost to the Titans. Titans won 19-10. Titans moved to 4-2. The Colts go 3-1. Matt Ryan. Interesting story about Matt Ryan this week. He went 33 for 44, 243 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, and got benched actually towards the end of the game. I don't know if he got benched towards the end of the game or just at the end of the game. They're just like, we can't do this no more. The aged quarterback thing is not working for us over here with the Colts. He's just turning the ball over and getting sacked a bunch of times. The Colts offensive line is not good as it used to be. So he's just wearing away and it looks bad. And, they have a pretty good record right now. They're 3-1. So they want to actually have a chance to make the playoffs. They're not tanking. So they're trying to make a change. And they're starting Sam Ehlinger. You guys might recognize him from Texas. He was a Texas quarterback out there for a while doing his thing. And now he's bringing another aspect to the Colts. Matt Ryan couldn't really run the ball at all. He's another statuesque quarterback out there like Tom Brady that's in the pocket. And if the pocket breaks down, he kind of just falls down. So Ehlinger brings a different dimension with his legs, and maybe they can win some more games. But in this game in particular, Matt Ryan already said his stats. Jonathan Taylor came back 10 for 58. Didn't really do much. People are kind of losing hope on him, especially in fantasy. I'll get there in a little bit. But Paris Campbell, 10 for 70 and a touchdown, and Michael Pittman was there. Ryan Tannehill, who went 13 for 20, 132 yards, and Derrick Henry who had 30 carries for 128 yards. Good Lord. Titans are 4-2, Colts 3-1. And Matt Ryan's done. I'm presuming that he's just gonna retire, because I don't think any other team's gonna pick him up. And he's injured, so I don't know. His shoulder's injured. Texans 1-1, lose to the Raiders. Raiders beat up on the Texans 38-20. Raiders move up to 2-4. Texans 1-1. Davis Mills went 28 for 41, 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. Damian Pierce 20 for 90. Jordan Atkins, a tight end over there on Houston, 3 for 68. Derek Carr had a game, 21 for 27, 241 yards and a touchdown. Josh Jacobs was actually the one that had the game, 20 for 143, 3 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 8 for 95. Mac Hollins, 2 for 44 yards and a touchdown. Jets versus the Broncos, the 5-2 Jets, everybody. That's crazy. They beat the Broncos 16-9. Zach Wilson goes 16 for 26, 121 yards. Brees Hall, which is very, very depressing. He does get hurt this game. He hurts his knee. I think he tears his ACL, is what they're saying, and he's out for the season. He went 4 for 70, had a 60-yard touchdown run. He's on my fantasy team, and I thought he was going to go off this game until I got that injury news. It was crazy. But Michael Carter did go in the game for him, 13 for 29, 2 receptions for 45 yards. James Robinson did get traded over there, but they are saying that Michael Carter is going to be the starting running back for now. Brett Rippon started for Russell Wilson, who's dealing with a hamstring injury. He went 24 for 46, 225 yards, 1 interception, and that's what he did. Latavius Murray scored the touchdown between the running backs. Latavius Murray signed off the streets, already kind of starting over Melvin Gordon. They're saying Melvin Gordon's going to get a better chance to play more of a starting role. He's just in the doghouse right now from his fumbling problem. And yeah, that's an interesting situation over there. Hopefully, he is coming back, Russell Wilson, for the London game this weekend. So we'll see Russell Wilson and not Rippon, and hopefully Sutton can do something, goddammit. Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler are in a lot of trade talks right now with trade deadline coming up. So who knows what the Broncos are actually going to look like in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, that was the Jets game. The Jets won 16-9. Chiefs and 49ers. Chiefs beat the 49ers 44-23 over in Santa Clara. Mahomes goes 25 for 34, 423 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Kelsey goes 6 for 98. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 6 for 32 yards and a touchdown. Hardman, who actually did the most work this game, had 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 7 catches, 124 yards and a touchdown. Valdez-Scantling, 3 catches for 111 yards. He's spreading it out. Patrick Mahomes is just, man, he's balling this year. He's having a resurgence and showing everybody that he's not to be trifled with in the AFC. They may have lost to the Bills, but I feel like they got something. You know, they're gonna see him again probably in the AFC Championship game. I was gonna say the AFC Conference Championship. I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say. But yeah, the Chiefs they balled out. Jimmy Garoppolo went 25 for 37, 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had a safety too, which was wild. Christian McCaffrey, coming off a trade, got traded there on Friday, was able to play on Sunday. Got a little bit of burn in the red zone, some burn in the passing game. Went 8 for 38. Jeff Wilson, though, for the time being, was the more so, got most of the plays in the backfield, 7 for 54. George Kittle, 6 for 98 and a touchdown. Ayuk had 7 catches, 82 yards. And Ray McLeod, 4 catches, 65 yards and a touchdown. The 49ers fall to 3-4. The Chiefs move up to 5-2. And I know a lot of my friends that are 49ers fans, man, they kind of felt like they're going to lose this game, but they thought maybe with CMC and some of the injuries that they had, Trent Williams came back, Nick Bosa came back, that they possibly could win this game. But yeah, unfortunately, they still have Jimmy Garoppolo, and he made some mistakes that, cost them a game, especially if you're playing against Patrick Mahomes. We know firsthand, we played him earlier this season. Any turnovers, any extra possessions you give Patrick Mahomes, they're probably going to score on. So, yeah, especially when all the receivers are clicking out there. But yeah, Seahawks versus the Chargers. Seahawks beat the Chargers 37-23. Seahawks 4-3 right now, which is crazy. Chargers are also 4-3. Geno Smith went 20 for 27, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And Geno Smith's playing like the most unexpected football player. He might be most improved player of the year or something, because he's coming out and balling. Everybody thought that him starting over Drew Lock was kind of crazy, and it was only a matter of time before Drew Lock took over. But he's been out there balling and holding the reins. Kenneth Walker III, 23 carries, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. Marquise Goodwin showing out, 4 catches, 67 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Justin Herbert went 33 for 51, 293 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Austin Eckler, 9 for 31 and 1 touchdown, 12 receptions for 96 and 1 touchdown. So, he's doing his all-around thing. Mike Williams, 7 for 86 and a touchdown, but he hurt his ankle as well, and he's going to be out for a while. So all the Chargers really have a receiver right now is an injured Keenan Allen coming back. So, man, yeah, it's kind of rough out there for the Chargers right now. They already don't have Joey Bosa, and they got an injured center, injured left tackle. Yeah, it's not looking good, but they're still 4-3, so I guess they're still kind of doing well. Steelers and the Dolphins. Dolphins beat the Steelers 16-10, moved to 4-3. Steelers dropped to 2-5. Kenny Pickett goes 32 for 44, 257 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. God damn, he's throwing a bunch of interceptions. Najee Harris goes 17 for 65. Pat Fryermuth, 8 catches, 75 yards. George Pickens, 6 for 61 and 1 touchdown. NFL young boy out there still balling. Once Kenny Pickett and him get on a better rapport and Kenny Pickett gets better, that's going to be something to look at for the future. Tua is game back from the concussion protocol, 21 for 35, 261 yards and a touchdown. Mostert went 16 for 79, 4 receptions for 30 yards and a touchdown. Waddle 4 for 88, and Tyreek Hill 7 for 72. Again, Dolphins move up to 4-3, and the Steelers move down to 2-5. In the last game of the week, we had the Bears playing the Patriots, the coming out party for Justin Fields. The Bears won 33-14. Bears move up to 3-4. Patriots move down to 3-4. Justin Fields goes 13 for 21, 179 yards and a touchdown pass, 1 interception, but he had 14 carries for 82 yards and a touchdown. Just kind of carrying the team, doing what he needs to do to get the team a victory. The defense for the Bears were able to hold Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones to a minimum. Mac Jones got benched early for Bailey Zappi, who threw a touchdown pass on his first drive, which everybody thought was going to be sustainable, but then he goes on to throw 2 interceptions. And everybody's like, God damn, what do we do now? And Mac Jones is the starter again. Montgomery went 15 for 62 and a touchdown. Darryl Mooney, 3 for 53. And Khalil Herbert had the touchdown reception. Bailey Zappi goes 14 for 22, 185 yards, 1 touchdown. That touchdown I talked about, and he had 2 interceptions. Mac Jones was benched. Ramondre Stevenson, 11 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown, 8 receptions for 59 yards. Jacoby Myers had a crazy touchdown, 2 carries for 34 yards. This is the one where he caught it from Bailey Zappi, dove on the ground, got up, then dove in the end zone, even though he got touched and should have been down early, but they gave it to him. Devontae Parker went 3 for 68, and that ends the scores from week 7, and we can forget about those scores and move on to week 8, because goddamn, I just want to wash away the last 2 weeks from the Buccaneers record and not talk about them ever again. You know what I mean? That shit is stupid. But let's talk about week 8 and the odds and shit like that. Let's move swiftly along. I got the new water Gatorade bottle, y'all. Maybe I can stop talking mush mouth if I put some water in it. Y'all hear that? That's that fresh squeeze. But yeah, week 8, Thursday night football, we got the Ravens that are coming to the Buccaneers, who are favored by 1.5. They're 4-3, and everybody's seen what we put up lately and think that they're gonna smash us. Lamar Jackson's gonna run all over us, and they're gonna do whatever they need to do. But hopefully my team got enough gall to come to our home field, which we lost the last couple of games at. Come out here and show what we got, man. Let everybody know we ain't gonna roll over, and all this shit they talking in the media ain't shit, man. Let them know that we coming out and we coming for blood. We out here gonna get this win. We're gonna, LA's gonna come in next week. The Rams gonna come in next week. We're gonna beat them too. And then we're gonna get to the lighter part of our schedule and just keep winning as well, man. We gotta turn this ship around, no pun intended, because we the Bucks and shit. We on a pirate ship, you feel me? But we're gonna turn it around and we're gonna do well. I think, you already know who I'm gonna predict. I got the Buccaneers in this game. We're going to turn this shit around, but the Ravens are favored by 1.5. Broncos and Jaguars, who play in London, early game, so make sure you set your lineup early if you have the Broncos and Jags. The Jags are favored by 3 points in London, and I don't blame them because we haven't seen nothing from the Broncos as of late offensively. Their defense is pretty good, but their offense is, I don't know what it is. We don't even know if Russ is going to play. So I am with that. I'm picking the Jags in this game. Panthers, Falcons. Oh, man, can they tie? I'm hoping for a tie. I'm willing to mess up my record and just predict a tie because I don't want neither one of these teams to win. But the Falcons are favored at home by 4.5 points. So use that information as you will. I don't care about it. I hope they tie. Bears at the Cowboys. Ooh. Cowboys are favored by 9.5 points. I think the Cowboys are going to whoop up on these boys because I don't think the Bears are going to be able to score, plain and simple. Dolphins and Lions. Lions are at home. Dolphins favored by 3. I hope the Dolphins win because I got Waddle. I hope they tear up them Lions because they be giving up points to everybody else. You better give up points to these goddamn Dolphins. I got the Dolphins in that game. Cardinals at the Vikings. Vikings favored by 3.5 points at home. I got the Vikings in this one. I know D-Hop is back and all that, but the Vikings are on a roll. They are coming off a bye, and I think they'll be nice and rested and be able to handle their work. Raiders at Saints. Oh, I got the Raiders. We ain't even got to talk about why. Jets at Patriots, or Patriots at Jets. Jets are favored by 1.5. I got the Jets in this one. The Jets are on a roll, and Patriots just lost to the Bears, so I think the Jets are gonna tear them up. And by the way, if you wanted to know about that Saints and Raiders spread, Saints are at home, and the Raiders are favored by 2. So do with that as you will as well. But forget them Saints. You feel me? Steelers at the Eagles. Eagles are favored by 10.5 points coming off a bye. I'm sure they'll make easy work of the Steelers, which we couldn't do. I really don't understand that game, but yep, I don't really see the Steelers having a chance in that game, and I think the Steelers kind of blow them out. 10.5 points is a crazy spread anyway, so I think they're gonna blow them out too, but I think they will. Titans versus the Texans. Titans are at the Texans, and they're favored by 2.5. And I got the Titans in that game. I guess the Texans really don't want to win. They're pretty much tanking probably for Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. So we'll see who they actually get, but they're tanking. And I'm never going to pick them because they're going to lose every game unless it's the last game of the year. And it doesn't matter if they win and it won't mess up their rankings for the number 1 pick. Yeah, you know what I mean. I got the Titans in that game. Commanders at Colts. Colts are favored by 3. I don't know how that's possible when they have a rookie. I don't know if Ellinger's a rookie at this point, but I would pick the Commanders in this because I know Tyler Heineke can probably run the offense a little bit better than Ellinger can. So I got the Commanders in this game, even though the Colts are favored by 3 at home. 49ers at Rams. 49ers are favored by 1.5 points. That's kind of crazy because they beat them last time. And the Rams coming off a bye, and I know they got revenge in their heart, but I don't know. The addition of Christian McCaffrey, I think, is going to be enough to make everything the same, and the Rams are going to lose again. I just hope they lose again so they get down there. And the 3 and 4s like us and just have to wallow in their sorrows just like us. They're another Saints-ish team to me. They can lose every game. I wouldn't care. You feel me? Sorry, Derek. Sorry, Kenny. But yeah. I didn't pick a team, huh? I picked the 49ers in that game. Giants at the Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 3 at home. This is going to sound silly because this is a personal and selfish reason for picking this team, but I'm picking the Giants to win just because I know if the Giants lose a certain amount of games, the Cowboys will have a better standing than them for the playoffs, and I want them to stay in 3rd place in their division. I'm kind of cool with that, so I want the Giants to win. I'm gonna pick the Giants at the Seahawks, and I pick the Giants to win, probably by more than 3. Packers at the Bills. The Bills are favored by 10.5 points at home against the Packers, which is crazy. I never would have thought the Bills would be favored 10.5 points over Aaron Rodgers, but that's what it is. And I got the Bills, though. They've been losing to bad teams, the Packers have, so I got the Bills in that one. In the last game, Bengals at the Browns. I got the Bengals for sure. The Bengals are getting their shit together and kind of on the uptick right now. They started off kind of slow. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow trying to, get everything. They're kind of Super Bowl hangover. It happens, but now they're getting on track and actually showing that they have what it takes to possibly get back to the Super Bowl or, be a representative in the playoffs or in the AFC Championship for the AFC. So again, to recap who I picked on all these games. I got the Bucks against the Ravens. I got the Jags against the Broncos. I got a tie for the Panthers and the Falcons. I got the Cowboys for the Cowboys and Bears. I got the Dolphins for the Dolphins and the Lions. I got the Vikings for the Vikings and Cardinals. Did I not pick some of these games? I got ooh, shit. What did I say? Let me slap myself in the face for that. Let me take that out. Scrape my tongue for that shit. Raiders over the Saints. I got the Jets over the Patriots, Eagles over the Steelers, Titans over the Texans, Commanders over the Colts, Rams over the Rams, 49ers over the Rams, Giants over the Seahawks, Bills over the Packers, and the Bengals over the Browns. I'm going to spare you guys and not review all my scores from last week. You guys down there in the comments, let me know. Keep me honest. That's what I always like to say. Keep me honest so I know that I'm doing the right thing and keep calling myself the pick champion. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff I say on here, I do research. I watch all these games on Red Zone, and I just figured out that I had NFL Sunday ticket. How did I not know that? I mean, I don't know. Slowly, DirecTV just put stuff in our package. I don't know if my mom secretly ordered it. I don't know if they just slipped it in there and we're paying for it and I don't know about it. But hey, we got NFL Sunday tickets. So I've been paying a lot more close attention to a lot of these teams, and my fantasy, which I'll talk about in just a second here, has opened my eyes to a lot of these players. So, you know what I'm saying? Take this as you will. Take it to the betting house, man. Go get you some money. Go make you some money. DraftKings, holla at me. I can help you out, do some DFS lineups for people. Actually, my DFS lineups have been terrible as of lately. I ain't gonna go there. But fantasy football, where we at with it? Week 7 results. Let's start off with my score. God damn it. I lost 5th place, y'all. I know I was talking all that shit. It was on 3-game winning streak. I thought it was all gonna be going good for me. I thought, I was gonna just keep winning. Jeremy's team had a bye. No Josh Allen, no Gabe Davis, no Bills defense. Like, I thought I had it, but for some reason, T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd had to go ahead and catch a touchdown each with 100 million yards each. And then, it just kind of got out of reach from there. And then Jimmy Garoppolo got just enough points for it to make it impossible for me to come back. You know what I'm saying? My team didn't do hella bad, but Christian McCaffrey getting traded to the 49ers so late in the week kind of messed it up for me because he didn't get all the reps that he's going to get this week. And he only left me with a little tiny bit of points, which I needed a lot of points to kind of catch up. But I did end up losing to Jeremy's team 85 to 121. Tay won 143 to 106, beating Yancey. Dijon, he lost, actually, got his first L to Deshaun. Deshaun won 115 to 83. Kyle lost to Damon. Damon getting his first victory, 126 to 85. Jason losing to John, 147 to 115. Derek getting a victory over Sean, 150 to 111. 150 points was a high score last week, and Derek gets high score of the week. And low score of the week actually goes to Dijon for having 83 points only. So it was a good scoring week for pretty much everybody, except for Dijon. So you got the low score of the week, but no worries, no problems. But standings did get a little bit different this week. I did lose my 5th place. First place, we got Jeremy at 6-1. Second place, we got Dijon 6-1. Third place, we got Kyle 5-2. Fourth place, we got Tay at 4-3. 5th place, Derek got his spot back at 4-3. Deshaun coming in at 6th place for 4-3. Everybody else out of the playoff contention goes as follows. 7th place is me at 3-4. Sean's in 8th place at 3-4. Yancey 9th place at 3-4. John 10th place at 2-5. Jason 11th place at 1-6. And Damon tying Jason. So who knows who's gonna be in last place next week at 1-6. Finally got his first win in there. So guys, season's been good. A lot of fluctuation. Teams up top are starting to lose, come back down to earth. And that's what I like to see, man. Get a little variety in there, because these teams started getting off to these 7, 8, 9 game streaks, and us down here in the middle, we wouldn't be able to catch them. So now everybody's within 2 or 3 games, 7 games left in the season. So every position is still obtainable. Nobody quit, nobody give up, no more dropping players. We had a little incident to where somebody tried to sabotage because they were in last place, and didn't think they were gonna win. And won't mention no names, but we back. We got a little pow, a little suspension, lost those players, but he's back in it, got his first win, even though he didn't have those players. So that hopefully gave him something to look forward to. And yeah, we're gonna keep it going from there. Everybody, it's all love. We're gonna keep it going. Everybody keep the sportsmanship. Rewards is coming, man. That 450 is staring you in the eye. 7 weeks left. So keep it going. Like I said, stay being good sports. Keep the communication up. Stop letting Derek get all these fucking trades, because these trades are kind of crazy. You letting them stack his team over there. I'm supposed to win the money, not him. You know what I'm saying? I know Jeremy and Dijon, y'all don't care right now, but once y'all start losing a little bit and get back to the, get back to the pack, or you play them in the playoffs, y'all be like, why? And Jason, you gonna realize once you traded Jalen Hurts and Jonathan Taylor for Najee Harris, Allen Lazard, and Kirk Cousins. That was wild, man. That's wild. I know you probably needed a quarterback and a receiver, but that trade there is crazy. So you gave this man a starting lineup of Jalen Hurts, Cooper Kupp, DeAndre Hopkins, Jonathan Taylor, Najee Harris. You can use Eno Benjamin in his flex. He has Everett as his tight end, Dallas defense. So he is just trying to stack. And I mean, the trade you guys are doing, I know it may seem beneficial in the meantime. I ain't gonna hate. I'm not hating. I'm just saying, watch who you giving your players to, because if you want to win this 450, you got to make some smart moves, not the dumb one. The next move is the best move. Got to make your best move. Better make the next move. Whatever Lil Wayne said, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Should we get into some pop culture? I'm not going to give you guys a commercial break this time. Let me just get right into it. Pop culture hour. You know what I'm saying? We in it. We in here. We right, you know, we right here. So I knew I said every week, every time I said I'm not gonna talk more about Kanye West. Um, the stuff he's saying shouldn't be getting publicity. We shouldn't give him a platform to keep spreading his shit. This is what he wants. I hear all that. I know. But this is more so a warning, you know, just kind of stuff that happens in fallout of kind of the stuff Kanye West is saying, you know, people think it's freedom of speech. He can say whatever he wants, but he's kind of starting to realize that it's not free. Starting with CAA, the agency that represented him, they dropped him. Def Jam dropped him. Adidas dropped him and any association with him for all the products that he put out. So all the work he did for Yeezy and all that stuff, all the models he put out for that kind of stuff, they're no longer associated with him. They're just probably just going to do make all the products and just take his name off of it. And he's going to sit there and look at it like, damn, was the shit that I said worth it for the rollout, for whatever he was trying to accomplish? I remember reading that he went to the Gap representatives or some shit like that and showed them porn to try to represent the kind of contract he was in with them or some kind of weird shit like that. Like, I don't know what he was thinking was going to happen. People thought that since he had all this money, that the stuff that he was saying, he might be untouchable. But people aren't realizing that all that $1 billion he was talking about he was worth, it wasn't all liquid cash. You know what I mean? It was all built up in equity and assets that he had and partnerships that he had. And him saying the shit that he had, saying the shit that he did say, man, it made people put in those calls to be like, hey, if you work with him, our partnership has to end, or just friendly, like, hey, you can't stand for the stuff that he's saying. And any person with the right mind would do so. It's not good for business. It's not good morally. People shouldn't think this way. People shouldn't inspire this kind of behavior. Athletes are dropping off of his sports agency. I know we've talked in the past, or I put on the Instagram that Aaron Donald and Jaylen Brown, two prominent basketball and football players, have signed to a sports agency. Actually, Antonio Brown's crazy ass was the head of it, which was already troublesome to begin with. I don't know why anybody would sign up for that, but yeah, all that is breaking down. I'm sure he's probably gonna, I don't know if he'll lose his school, because who wants to put kids out on the street and take away their education? But a lot of Balenciaga cut ties with him. Foot Locker's not selling any of his products. People are saying that his net value said to go from to have gone from $9 billion to 400 million. No, that's a lot of money. And I can never sniff that kind of money. Well, I hope to someday, but I ain't sniffing it right now. So I could, you know, my opinion is whatever. But for you to be worth $9 billion and drop all the way down to $400 million based on some words you decided to say on some platform for no reason, I don't know. Some people kind of say that he don't believe any of the stuff he's saying. He's just saying it to get a rise out of people and try to fuck up relationships to benefit him. Some people are saying that he's crazy and is having an episode and nobody's helping him. He has no team to help him. I don't know what it is. I just think that he's misguided and things that he's doing, people that he's going after. This kind of shit is not like what can I do next type of thing to incite the media, the masses. Like the shit that he's doing and the following that he has and the people that are out there that actually believe the shit that he believes and could start shit that it can incite shit that doesn't need to be started, especially in this time of the, you know, in our country. We already, with him saying all this shit, we saw people hanging banners over LA freeway saying that, oh, throwing up the Hitler sign and saying that Kanye West was right, and just hanging banners, and a whole bunch of people just kind of over there and kind of like passing that message along to the masses and trying to get people to follow along, and just kind of, it's just crazy. He kind of feels like, I don't know. He should expect this to happen. He can make people spend $200 for a STEM player. So I feel like anything he says, anything little he says, he has a following to where they'll follow him and just kind of just start some rhetoric that doesn't need to be started, start a movement, start stupid shit that doesn't need to be started. He's gotten away with so much thus far, and a lot of stuff that he was able to do, me personally, I thought was kind of stupid. Like a lot of the trends that he tried to start were kind of dumb, and people followed along with it and just called it art. And now he's going off the deep end and trying to just continue the shit that he's been doing, getting people to follow what he's saying and just kind of like go his way. And this one is, he swung and struck out. It's the worst thing you could possibly do. For him to double down and just stand on everything he's saying, it just kind of looks. This is the biggest. I feel like the biggest example of somebody just going off the deep end right in front of us, and we're just taking it as somebody just talking shit and making a decision. We should probably look further into it and just kind of mentally see what's going on with this man, because we don't want nothing to happen to him. Something happened to him, you know what I mean? Like, though he may be lost right now, I'm sure that he just needs some talking to and learning. The sponsorships and all that shit, the anti-Semitic shit that he said, there should be a penalty for that. Everything he deserves to get everything taken away from him. But now that you have taken it from him, and now that you have, or in the process of beating him down to a pulp, let's get him somewhere to where he can learn a little bit, to actually hold him to the fire and let him know that the shit he's saying all the time, the shit that he's been saying over the years, is actually doing more damage than good. And just, he's not the billionaire anymore. So you need to go ahead and listen to somebody that has the right, wants the best for you and not kind of just steering you the right way, just kind of trying to get in your pockets. And that's probably what it's been this whole time. And that's why he's probably just been going off the deep end, had a bunch of yes men's next to him and him just saying what he wants to say and nobody's telling him no. But now you got to really take a seat and look at, everybody's cutting you off and you have no relationships in the industry. What are you going to do? You're losing the Black community, Jewish community don't mess with you. All the Lizzo shit, the women aren't gonna mess with you. Like, you're losing all fan bases all around. And who you're gonna go to? Who are you gonna have left? All these hateful people who are just gonna try to like use you as a reason for doing the stupid shit, the anti-Semitic shit that they always wanted to do. Kanye said do it. You know what I'm saying? Kanye's popular. Everybody loves what he does all the time. Everybody mimics what he does. If you do what Kanye does, you wear what Kanye wears, you're cool. So maybe if I hate this type of person or hate this people, then I'll be cool just like Kanye. You don't want to inspire that kind of bullshit. So yeah, man, this is all necessary. And we should have known it was coming. Though I don't want to see a Black man fall and be a victim to the media and just take everything you got that you earned and built up. But man, you did it to yourself this time, man. You did it to yourself. And just for the future, no matter how big of a star you are, you shouldn't be able to spread that kind of hate. They're gonna make an example out of him and let him know, or let everybody else know that this can't happen again, and it won't. Because I have learned and have heard a lot over a lot of podcasts that just the rhetoric alone being talked about or being mentioned, it scares people, and it can, push them in a corner to, having flashbacks of shit that happened in the past, and nobody wants that. Every culture have had bad things happen to them in the past, and nobody would want that. Nobody wants the depiction of that or the memorization of that in their head. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kanye, you tripping, bro. And I promise this is the last time I'm gonna talk about it, because it's probably just gonna go downhill from here. And I really don't want to see that for Kanye. You know what I mean? It sucks, but man, you wanted this fame. I guess you wanted to be talked about that much, and you went off the deep end and had to take that jump. And man, everybody ain't going with you this time, player. Everybody ain't going with you. Moving on to some good news. DCEU gets its co-chair and co-CEO of DC Studios. Movies, films, TV shows, kind of like what Kevin Feige is to Marvel. Putting everything together, giving them a cohesive storyline, trying to make everything flow. And we needed that over in the DCEU. I know a lot of Marvel heads. I'm a Marvel head personally, but everybody over there kind of feels like if they're one side, they can't even dabble their toes in the other side. They have to hate DC if they like Marvel. That's not the case at all with me. I respect both sides. I like Marvel more, of course, but the characters on the DC side are legendary. Justice League Unlimited, when I saw that cartoon as a kid and it opened up the world to all the DC characters that there are, man, I was really enticed. And I still read their comics from time to time. Their animated series are always the best. The animated movies are always the best. It's kind of crazy. And they aren't afraid to do the rated mature stuff, cuss, show blood and stuff on that side. So I've always respected that. But to give who are going to be the co-chairs and the co-CEOs, James Gunn, you guys know him probably from Guardians of the Galaxy, Peacemaker, Suicide Squad, and famously for Marvel kicking them off the roster for some jokes he made. I think some pedophile jokes that James Gunn made like 13 years ago. Disney wasn't having it, so they cut ties. Um, he was able to, get a job over there on the DC side. Guardians of the Galaxy did get received really well, so DC was like, "Hey, let's give him a chance." And Peacemaker was a hit. I love Peacemaker. So for him, and it was like more of a rated R, kind of like a rated mature type of show. So um, James Gunn is definitely going to bring that and his comedy into the DCEU, and give it more of a better, a more of a cool feel, I would say. The other co-chair is Peter Safran. He was producer of a lot of stuff that James Gunn worked on as well. On the Suicide Squad, he produced on Aquaman, Peacemaker, Annabelle, Shazam. So he did Shazam already at DC work. So putting them together, they worked closely together before. Putting them together, I think is going to be cool. I can't wait to see what they do with all these movies. Excuse me, in the direction they go with the DCEU, because it's been all kind of crazy. And with Ezra Miller getting all in trouble and messing up the whole, resetting of the multiverse and stuff like that, we don't know where it was gonna go. So we know we got Aquaman 2 coming out. We know we got the Batman kind of continuing, the Joker 2 coming out. So there's a lot of stuff still continuing over there in the DCU, and we would like to see it be a cohesive thing. You know what I'm saying? Wonder Woman was bad. Wonder Woman 84. I want to see a Cyborg movie. They're supposed to be doing a Green Lantern TV show with Jon Stewart. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. The animation, TV, and film. So yeah, they needed that because HBO, Warner and Discovery, whatever they're called now, has been making cuts and just taking shit away. Canceled the Batgirl movie, the Batgirl movie. They canceled Cartoon Network. They did a whole bunch of stuff over there, and I was afraid they were going to kind of try to do that same shit with DC. So I'm happy they did get a direction, get two co-chairs and co-CEOs or whatever, and they are doing good. So if you haven't seen any of those movies, go check out their works. They do some pretty good stuff. So yeah, something to look forward to. I'm excited about that. And then lastly, I don't know why I didn't just put this right after Kanye, because this is some negative stuff. Brittany Griner. Hopefully I didn't say Brittany Renner to open this up. I did mean Brittany Griner. My fault. I really did mean Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner, who was sentenced to 10 years in jail for that the oil cartridge over there in Russia, trying to cross the border. She was sentenced to 10 years. I guess she's almost served a year now, because the rest of the 9 years, they tried to appeal it in court, and the judge over there in Russia was like, nah, she has to serve out the 9-year sentence. And that's really sad to hear, because over here in California, we know how it is with those cartridges. We feel like it's not really that big of an offense, because it's damn near legal to go across state to state with that stuff in your bag. And I don't know. She plays professional basketball in Russia, so I don't know why she didn't know that she couldn't bring those type of things over the border. And I'm sure she crossed the borders a lot. She actually also plays in the WNBA and the Russian league. So she crosses over a lot. So for her to not to know that these carry such a big offense is kind of crazy, one. But also for them not to understand that, come on now. I mean, I guess they're not going to give her, grace just because she's from America and it's legal there. But at the same time, she's definitely being used as a political pawn to try to get somebody out of Russia of note, which is kind of sad. Um, yeah, man. I just wish the best for her, and I hope that something can happen. A deal can be made without giving up what's his name, the dealer of death or whatever, the Russian gun dealer. Hopefully we can get her out of there without having to give him up. I don't know. I guess we're looking for some kind of trade. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what they're gonna trade, but man, it's not going to go away. And I know the NBA and the WNBA aren't going to let it go. So the more noise that is made, hopefully we can help her out and get her out of there. Yeah, the Merchant of Death is that guy's name. I don't know if we can get her out of there without giving him up, because we don't know what he's going to do if he gets out. They're at war right now. We don't know what kind of connections he has. We don't know what Russia would do with that guy. So yeah, I don't know about that kind of trade, but hopefully she doesn't have to serve the 9-year sentence. And because that's wild, man. She has a career, she has a family. They have money. They can get money together to get her out. Like, there's nothing that she can do. It's just kind of crazy. And prayers go out to her and her family, for real, for real. But that brings us to the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is the part of the episode where I like to let you guys know where to find me and where you can find me at. Give me 1 second. I need to grab some stuff. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Making a lot of noise. Sorry if you saw my small shirt. Ariel, cut that out. Yeah, edit that right on out, player. They can't be seeing my small shirt wrinkle up like that. So I don't know what you got to do, but make that pop. But yeah, it's the part of the episode where I like to let them know where to find me at. You know where to find me at. It's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. If you're looking for any kind of merch or anything like that, just hit me up on the DMs for now. And either the Best of Bias on the Instagram, or do I ever mention shout out the Best of Bias on Instagram? That's kind of crazy. Instagram is the Best of Bias. Hit me up on there, or hit me up on the SAC_Lydell on Instagram, and we can get that popping. You know what I'm saying? We got the new merch and new colors, new pins, you know what I'm saying? New patches as well. Here's a beanie. Let me get this looked it up for y'all. Sorry, audio listeners, I'm showing the new merch. Little pins there, you know what I'm saying? New colors for the winter time. You know, liven it up a little bit. Beanies, truckers, dad hats, bucket hats, all kinds of stuff. T-shirts still available. We'll get the website up soon. I know I say that all the time, but I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get that shit going. But hit me up in the DMs for now. I can, you know, plug you, let you guys know. Bring the Best of Bias merch to your city. I know Chico got a whole bunch of gear out there. I know Patterson's repping. So let's get it out there to more cities so we can, you know, spread the family. December 2nd, again, Comic-Con coming up. If you guys want to join us out there, meet us over at the Comic-Con. We're going to be there December 2nd through 4th, LA Comic-Con. I'm trying to collect those pops, get those autograph pops, you know what I'm saying? Checking out the scene, mingling with the people, you know what I mean? We're going to be there. Check us out there. If you want to be on the podcast, hit me up. Bring you, oh shit, my bad. Bring it to the couch right there, man. We're going to bring it all to the couch. Everything is expanding out here. We get more cameras, more angles and everything so we can get the, you know, the camera more spicy for y'all, you know what I'm saying? More guests coming soon. I know I say that every week, but we're going to get these guests in here. I promise you that. More music coming soon. I'm gonna sprinkle a little something for y'all. Back in high school, me and Damo and Paul, we made a little song. We might be revamping that song for 2022. So stay tuned for that. Get yourself some merch, man. Beautiful Struggle merch, Best of Bias merch. Get all the merch you can, man. Holiday season is coming. Get something for somebody. But yeah, you guys have a good one. Happy Friday. Hopefully the Buccaneers won. Hopefully the Nuggets won. So I ain't got to be in a bad mood and cry like I did earlier when I was talking about the Bucks. But yeah, for now, until next week, it's your boy. I might be back before next week. You never know. But it's your boy, Lydell Dinero, and it's the Best of Bias podcast. Yeah. Best of Bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of Bias. Best of Bias. Yeah.